the two research found 3 hot stones on the eastern side of the Kufu pyramid. In Giza, one of the largest pyramids in Egypt and over 4,500 years old, when a group of scientists aimed their AI-powered thermal scanners at Egypt's ancient pyramids, they expected to find stone and sand. But deep below, something unexpected moved. The readings pulsed like a heartbeat. The desert had been silent for thousands of years until now. Something alive was stirring beneath the pyramids. Let's find out what it was. The spirals beneath Giza. In March 2025, the sandy desert of Egypt's Giza plateau glowed in the hot sun. The air was dry and the intense heat weighed heavily on everything. The famous pyramids of Giza could be seen, large and silent, reaching up towards the clear blue sky. These ancient monuments had kept their secrets for many years. However, on that day, something remarkable started to happen beneath them. A group of researchers, headed by Professor Kurado Malanga, was using ground-penetrating radar to survey the Giza plateau in detail. Their tools were able to scan deep underground, sending signals to places that had never been seen before. The researchers were unaware of what they might discover. They thought they might find ancient structures, hidden rooms, or forgotten burial sites. Instead, their radar screens showed something mysterious and unexplainable. Below the pyramid of Khafra, which is one of the most well-known and well-preserved structures in Giza, there were 4 huge spiral formations that went deep into the ground. The radar images showed these formations with great detail and accuracy. The spirals did not look random or haphazard. They seemed to be intentionally arranged in a careful and deliberate manner. The lines were smooth and perfectly symmetrical. The researchers were in shock as they gazed at their screens for a long time. The news quickly became widely known. In a matter of hours, people around the world were focused on Giza once more. News stories worldwide talked about strange spirals under the pyramids. People wondered if they were natural formations or made by humans. If they were constructed by people, then who built them, and for what purpose? The finding led to many questions being asked. The radar information indicated that the spirals were not shallow but went deep beneath the surface, forming a complex pattern that couldn't be explained just by geology. Some team members speculated that they could be ancient structures, possibly from a lost engineering system. Others believed they could be an early type of underground architecture designed for water management or transportation. The team examined the scans carefully and saw faint signs of other anomalies close by, like thin lines that could be channels or tunnels. These features appeared to be linked to the spiral formations. This discovery was a game changer. If there were actually underground water channels under Giza, it could revolutionize our understanding of how the ancient Egyptians constructed their monuments. The Egyptians were recognized for their great ability to manage water. They were highly knowledgeable about water, from the annual floods of the Nile to the irrigation systems that watered their crops, more so than other ancient civilizations. Many archaeologists had never considered the idea that advanced hydraulic systems could exist under the pyramids. As soon as the radar findings were revealed, Egyptologists started arguing about their significance. Some were excited about the possibility of a major archaeological discovery. However, some were skeptical and doubted the findings. Dr. Zahi Hawass, a well-known Egyptian archaeologist, publicly voiced his skepticism. He suggested that the spirals and tunnels detected by radar could simply be natural formations in the rocky desert beneath Giza. Hawass mentioned that the area was known to have cracks, cavities, and uneven layers that could appear unusual on radar scans. Many specialists agreed with him. They cautioned the public against making hasty conclusions. In the past, there have been several comparable discoveries using radar or sonar that ended up being mistaken for geological formations. To these experts, the spirals were just another example of misunderstood discoveries. However, even though they received negative feedback, Professor Malanga and his team stood firm in their stance. They supported their findings with advanced imaging technology that could detect very small details. The patterns they observed seemed too precise and systematic to be random. The team was convinced that their discovery was both authentic and important. However, there were still uncertainties. The pyramids of Giza have always sparked bold theories and unusual claims. Some archaeologists were worried that these new discoveries would only encourage more speculation without concrete excavation evidence. Nevertheless, this finding stood out from previous rumors and fringe theories because the radar images were supported by actual, verifiable data. There was something peculiar there that defied current understanding. The story of the Giza spirals is similar to other historical discoveries that were initially met with disbelief. For example, when Howard Carter found Tutankhamun's tomb, people didn't believe him at first. The same skepticism was seen when the Dead Sea Scrolls were uncovered. However, both of these discoveries ended up being proven true and significantly impacted our understanding of history. The same may be true for the underground spirals at Giza. As time went by, the research team kept studying their discoveries. They observed that each spiral shape appeared to begin wide and then narrow as it went down, similar to a corkscrew drilling into the ground. The consistent patterns were hard to overlook. The spirals appeared to line up with the bottom of the Kufu pyramid, indicating a potential connection between what was visible above ground and what existed underneath. Could these spirals have provided support for the pyramid in some manner, or were they maybe a part of an ancient ceremonial area hidden in history? Even though no official excavation had been authorized, the concept of ancient underground structures captured the interest of people worldwide. Some researchers started considering the possibility that these structures could have been an early method of managing groundwater or regulating the temperature of buildings above ground. Others believe that these spirals may have held spiritual meaning and symbolism for the ancient builders, the hidden world under the pyramid of Khafra. In June 2025, the sky above the Giza plateau in Egypt was shimmering in the intense sun. The dry and pale ground was beneath the great pyramids, which stood silently over the desert. Tourists with cameras walked around unknowingly above a significant historical shift that was about to happen that day. Professor Corrado Malanga and Filippo Beyond, along with their research team, were examining their latest radar findings. Soon their discovery would have a major impact on the field of archaeology. For months, the team used advanced radar technology to scan the ground under the Pyramid of Khafra. Earlier research had suggested there were unusual shapes deep underground, but now they had more clear, detailed, and astonishing results. When the final radar images appeared on their screens, everyone was quiet. Below the pyramid, buried under the sand, was a large underground structure with massive rooms, complex tunnels, and stairs that seemed to go on forever. The radar scans made an incredible discovery. The images were clear and showed organized structures resembling an underground city. The rooms were connected by long corridors, each room nearly the size of an Olympic pool or large city building. Vertical shafts and spiral staircases added to the mysterious appearance, like pathways into a forgotten world. What surprised everyone the most was how deep the complex was, reaching nearly 2,100 feet underground. This is twice as tall as the Eiffel Tower if it were buried upside down in the desert. The discovery was amazing, and the radar results showed clear signs of human design. It was clear that this structure was not a natural formation, but rather something deliberately built with patterns and precision. When the results were announced, the world responded quickly. The images were shown on TV and talked about in newspapers. The internet was filled with opinions, excitement, and inquiries. People who study history and those who are curious were very interested. If these findings were proven true, they could change everything we believed about ancient Egypt. The spiral staircases were the main attraction for everyone because of their sleek, circular structure that hinted at sophisticated engineering skills. It seemed unlikely that the ancient Egyptians could have built such intricate designs thousands of years ago. The tunnels were perfectly connected, and the chambers seemed to be part of a carefully thought-out layout. indicating they were built for a specific reason and not randomly. The excitement over Professor Malanga's team's results was quickly overshadowed by skepticism. Dr. Zahi Hawass, a well-known Egyptologist, and other traditional scholars criticized the claims, saying they were exaggerated and not confirmed. They believe the radar data may have been misinterpreted and that the supposed chambers and staircases could simply be natural formations in the limestone bedrock at Giza. However, Malanga's team was very cautious and meticulous in their approach. They utilized various radar systems, conducted multiple scans of the same areas, and cross-referenced the results from different instruments. They made sure to document and validate every step of their process. Their methods were clear, transparent, and based solely on scientific principles. The images produced were clear and uniform. The data remained consistent and unchanged despite numerous checks. The evidence was clear, undeniable, and authentic. However, the critics were not willing to change their opinion. They disregarded the results, stating that there was no tangible evidence or conclusive proof. This immediate rejection prompted others to question their motives. What was causing their resistance? Why were they unwilling to explore the findings further? Professor Malanga provided detailed explanations in his reports regarding the findings. He highlighted that the radar readings displayed large, man-made rooms and lengthy hallways rather than random cracks or empty spaces. The shapes observed had sleek edges, clear corners, and uniform measurements. The staircases exhibited consistent curvature and spacing, indicating deliberate design. The images did not bear any resemblance to natural geological formations. These were clearly constructed areas, shaped or built by intentional human actions. If this is correct, it could have huge consequences. Finding this hidden world under the Giza plateau indicates that there may have been an ancient society that created intricate structures far beyond what was thought possible for that time. If these structures were made by humans, it could mean that there was a civilization much older or more advanced than what is commonly believed in history. In archaeology, even with evidence, official experts chose to stay silent or ignore it. They advised being careful and not making hasty conclusions. It is important to be cautious in scientific research, but completely avoiding further investigation only made the mystery more puzzling. What were they scared of uncovering under the sand? Many people felt like history was resistant to change. The Giza plateau has always been mysterious, with stories of hidden passages and buried chambers. Explorers have spoken of underground temples and lost archives for centuries. Legends say these secrets were sealed away before the pyramids were constructed. Now, with technology showing actual evidence of something massive and man-made below the surface, it feels like the past is speaking loudly and demanding attention. Malanga's team remained resolute and carried on with their research. They collected as much data as they could. Ground-penetrating sound waves, magnetic surveys, and density scans all backed up the radar results. Every method showed massive empty spaces deep underground, arranged in a symmetrical pattern. These findings couldn't be explained solely by natural causes. As time went on, arguments became more intense. Some experts wanted to start digging right away, but others were concerned about disturbing holy land. The Egyptian government was careful in possibly trying to keep the area safe. The region near the pyramids is heavily researched and access is restricted. It takes a long time to get approval to excavate even a small area. However, beneath the sand lies something immense and ancient. The scariest part of finding the underground chambers was the idea that they may have been built before the pyramids. If these chambers were built before Khufu's pyramid, then who could have built them and why? The well-designed spiral staircases and huge halls hinted at more than just a place to stay, but maybe a place for rituals, protection, or something more profound. In June 2025, the scientific community remained divided about the story. Secrets the stones refused to tell. One of the biggest mysteries of the Great Pyramid and other structures at Giza is not just how they were constructed, but who built them. These massive stone monuments have stood for thousands of years, yet there is little information inside them about their creators or how they were built. It is puzzling that these impressive structures towering above everything else from that time period do not have any clear indications of who constructed them. Can you picture building something as big as a modern skyscraper or a whole city complex? Something that would be incredible for hundreds of years. Wouldn't you want your name, your story, and your techniques proudly displayed for everyone to remember? But in Giza, there is only silence. There are no plaques, no writings, no direct recognition. Just cold stone hallways that seem to share secrets that no one has figured out yet. In the Great Pyramid, there are no hieroglyphs that tell us how it was built. There are no records that mention how many workers were involved, what tools were used, or how long it took to build. The walls inside the pyramid are plain bare and do not offer any clues. The only connection to Pharaoh Kufu is a small piece of red graffiti found much later in a chamber high above where the pyramid was built. This graffiti was painted, not carved, and was found in a sealed-off area that was not easily discovered until modern times. Thinking about it, it's like discovering one name scribbled in an old house's attic and assuming that person built the entire home. It seems flimsy, unsure, almost contrived. However, that one mark became the connection linking the Great Pyramid to Kufu in today's textbooks. The mysterious absence of solid proof brings up a troubling possibility. Was it possible for a different group of people to have constructed the pyramids? Maybe they were actually made by an older civilization that existed way before Egypt became dominant. This concept persists despite being rejected multiple times. For a long time, independent researchers and curious explorers have been trying to discover more information. They have searched for secret passages, analyzed the placement of the stones, and dug beneath the sand to find evidence of something ancient. However, their attempts have frequently been met with skepticism rather than enthusiasm. For a long time, the Egyptian government has closely controlled research at Giza. Numerous private groups have attempted to get permission to examine the underground spaces, use scanning technology to look beneath the pyramids, or look into strange structures nearby. However, most of these requests are turned down swiftly, even when new scanning methods reveal unusual features like empty spaces or hidden chambers underground. The authorities hardly ever allow exploration. Many people are wondering why certain investigations are being blocked, which could potentially provide answers to questions that have been asked for centuries. The government may be afraid that certain discoveries could challenge Egypt's established history, which is crucial to its national pride and economy. This fear may be the reason why they are preventing exploration that could confirm or dismiss long-standing theories. Egypt's culture and tourism rely heavily on its ancient monuments, particularly the belief that the pyramids were constructed around 4,500 years ago by Egyptian rulers with the help of manual labor and basic tools. To challenge this version of history is to challenge a fundamental aspect of Egyptian heritage. If proof were found suggesting that the pyramids are older or built by a civilization more sophisticated than the Egyptians, it would disrupt historical norms. School books would have to be updated, and our understanding of human development would be reevaluated. Beneath the Giza plateau, there is a legend about a mysterious chamber known as the Hall of Records. This chamber is said to contain lost knowledge from a distant time. Both ancient texts and current stories mention this mysterious chamber. Some people think it is located under the Sphinx, while others believe it is under the Great Pyramid. The concept of the Hall of Records has fascinated people for many years, whether it is real or just a legend. With advanced scanning technology revealing strange structures and empty spaces beneath the ground, many are wondering if one of these chambers could be the fabled Hall of Records. Might it contain records or artifacts left by the builders of the Giza pyramids, the hidden chambers beneath Giza? In early 2025, the deserts of Egypt once again became the center of attention worldwide. This time, instead of focusing on the greatness of the pyramids or their beauty in the sunlight, a new discovery captured interest reaching deep into the earth. A team of highly skilled scientists from Japan came to the Giza plateau, quietly equipped with technology to peer beneath the ground. These researchers were from Higashi Nippon International University and Tohoku University, aiming to explore what was hidden below the enigmatic Western Cemetery of Giza, a place steeped in history. Initially, the investigation appeared to be ordinary and expected. It was expected that the investigation would reveal information that was already known. However, as they started using their equipment to scan the ground, unusual readings started to show up. It seemed like the ground below the plateau was revealing ancient secrets that had been hidden for many years. The scientists utilized advanced tools such as ground-penetrating radar and electrical resistivity imaging to uncover hidden information that couldn't be seen with the naked eye. Gradually, an unexpected discovery started to materialize beneath the surface. Just 2 meters under the surface of the desert, the machines found a clear outline of an L-shaped structure. It was around 10 meters by 10 meters and seemed too deliberate to be natural. The scientists looked at the results, quietly understanding they had uncovered something that was purposefully hidden. The sand on top of it was not randomly there. It appeared as if someone had worked hard in the past to bury this structure and keep it hidden. The idea was both exciting and disturbing. Why would someone conceal something like this? Was it to keep a secret safe or to protect something valuable from being found? The team intensified their scans and soon uncovered another unexpected find, something even deeper underground. Below the initial structure, buried between 5 and 10 meters, there was another structure. It was similar in size to the first one, measuring about 10 meters by 10 meters. But the radar images indicated something peculiar. It wasn't solid stone. There were indications of emptiness and open space, a hollow cavity that could be a room or a tunnel. The researchers were amazed by what they saw. A hollow space under the sands of Giza, hidden under a carefully constructed structure. This was not a typical natural formation. It showed human-made shapes like perfect squares and L shapes, indicating intentional and skilled work long ago. Their results were carefully documented and then published in a reputable scientific journal called Archaeological Research in Asia. The paper detailed each stage of their research, every data point collected, and all the patterns observed using radar technology. The evidence suggested intentional construction, as demonstrated by symmetrical shapes, consistent depths, and sand that appeared to be intentionally packed to conceal the structures. This was not random chance, but rather evidence of deliberate planning and design. The news about the discovery spread fast. It interested scientists, historians, and regular people. They were curious about what might be inside the underground areas. Some people thought it could be tombs, temples, or secret rooms with treasures. Others speculated that it could be ancient storerooms holding valuable items. Some even imagined a lost chamber connected to the mysteries of the pyramids. For centuries, stories have been shared about hidden passageways and secret halls under the Giza plateau. Some people thought these were just made-up tales to entertain rather than educate. One of these legends was the mysterious Hall of Records, a legendary library believed to hold ancient knowledge hidden beneath the desert. For many years, it was seen as just a nice story with no evidence to support it. However, recent scans have shown empty chambers and unexpected shapes, making those old stories seem less like fiction and more like reminders of lost history. The concept of a hidden world under Giza now seemed believable. The desert protecting the pyramids for centuries could possibly be concealing a secret that the ancient builders never intended to uncover. The scientific community was amazed by the discovery, which caused a lot of excitement. Some archaeologists were hesitant and wanted to excavate to confirm the radar findings. However, other archaeologists were in awe at the potential implications of these structures being man-made, as it could challenge what is currently known about Egypt's history. Every society leaves evidence of its achievements, such as temples, walls, carvings, and tombs. However, this finding suggests something unique. These hidden structures were not made to be visible. They were not constructed to show strength or to stand out in the sun. Instead, they were created to stay hidden and unnoticed, intentionally buried over time. Why did ancient builders decide to conceal their creations? Did they want to safeguard something important? Was it a place for eternal rest? Or maybe it was a sanctuary for knowledge, a place where the most precious secrets of their civilization were kept safe from the passage of time. Secrets older than time beneath Egypt's sands. Before the pyramids were built and kings left their mark on stone, a mystery was forming underground that lay dormant for many years, waiting to be discovered. This mystery didn't start in Egypt, but instead in Turkey on a peaceful hill. During the 1990s, archaeologist Klaus Schmidt found something significant at Göbekli Tepe that challenged our understanding of human history. He discovered massive stone pillars arranged in circles under the ground, adorned with animal symbols and mysterious designs. These were not random rocks left behind by nomadic groups. They were deliberately crafted and placed in a precise manner. It was a carefully constructed temple or sanctuary created by skilled individuals who had an appreciation for art symmetry and intention. The most surprising thing about it was how old it was. Göbekli was around 12,000 years old, which means it was built around 10,000 BC. This was thousands of years before writing farming and the first cities. At that time, humans were thought to be basic hunters and gatherers. However, Göbekli showed evidence of a more advanced civilization. The finding was surprising. It was like uncovering a lost part of history that experts didn't think was possible. Many experts initially didn't believe it because it didn't align with what they had thought for a long time. However, the evidence found, such as large carvings and detailed designs, showed that human societies existed much earlier than previously believed. As Schmidt kept digging, more proof emerged that couldn't be ignored. This revealed that humanity's history is much older and more advanced than previously thought. Shortly after that, another site called Kahan Tepe was found close to Göbekli. In the same area, archaeologists found more advanced and impressive structures buried deep in the ground. Stone pillars were arranged in orderly circles, adorned with intricate carvings that displayed remarkable artistry for the time period. The site shared similarities with the greatness of Göbekli Tepe. Combined, these sites told a compelling story that could not be ignored. They demonstrated that advanced human societies flourished long before civilization was believed to have started. The previous notion that humans only developed as builders and thinkers after the advent of agriculture was being disproven. History had to acknowledge this undeniable truth once again. History often repeats itself, particularly when new discoveries challenge the current narrative. These groundbreaking findings are usually disregarded until the evidence becomes too compelling to ignore. This trend appears to be happening again in Egypt. Recently, some unusual findings have been discovered near the Giza plateau. Radar scans conducted below the pyramids have uncovered deep tunnels, chambers, and mysterious shapes. Some of these shapes appear to be strange anomalies that look like portals or doorways to secret areas. Is it possible that these discoveries are similar to what was found in Turkey, potentially changing our understanding of history? Many old stories from various cultures describe ancient civilizations that existed before written history. These tales mention societies that were skilled in astronomy, constructed impressive cities, and mysteriously disappeared after catastrophic floods. Whether it be in Mesopotamia, India, the Americas, or the Pacific Islands, the stories all share a common theme of advanced civilizations being wiped out by natural disasters. For many years, experts didn't believe these stories and thought they were just made-up explanations for natural disasters. However, as more ancient structures are found through archaeology, the distinction between myth and reality is becoming less clear. Scientific research shows that about 12,000 years ago, the world experienced significant changes in climate. During the younger, driest period, there were flood storms and extreme temperature changes that affected the Earth. These events may have altered the shape of land masses and possibly led to the destruction of many human societies. The timing is interesting because it aligns with the time period of Göbekli Tepe and other ancient sites. These ancient sites may have been the few remaining remnants of a world that existed before major floods. Egypt, known for its impressive pyramids and ancient landmarks, also holds hints of an even more ancient past. The Great Sphinx, located near the pyramids, displays signs of water erosion that suggest it may be much older than originally believed. Geologist Dr. Robert Schul's research indicates that the erosion patterns on the Sphinx's body were likely caused by heavy rainfall long before it was built. This discovery challenges the traditional timeline of the Sphinx's construction, suggesting it could be significantly older than previously thought. The inventory stela is an old artifact found near the pyramids that supports the idea that the Sphinx was already ancient during Egypt's earliest dynasties. Even though mainstream scholars consider it a legend, it suggests that Egypt's grand monuments could have been built on the ruins of an even older civilization. When we look at all these pieces of evidence, the findings in Turkey, the wear and tear on the Sphinx, the underground tunnels at Giza, and the flood stories from various cultures around the globe, it starts to paint a picture. This indicates that sometime in the distant past, there was a highly advanced civilization on Earth. They could have possessed knowledge of astronomy, mathematics, and construction far superior to what we have now. But then disaster struck, destroying most of it and only leaving fragmented memories preserved in stone. The builders of Giza may not have started from scratch. They might have received knowledge from people who lived in an earlier time. These people could have shared bits of their wisdom, which helped future civilizations construct enduring structures. Deep below the Egyptian sands, there may still be a hidden story waiting to be discovered. The recently discovered chambers could contain the secrets of ancient knowledge, safeguarded over time purposefully to prevent it from being ruined or to keep it concealed until society is prepared to comprehend it, if this is accurate. The findings beneath Giza are not only related to Egypt, they are also relevant to us, our origins, and the extent of our